I am live. Big with good people of the world, good people of Era. Donegal on shot. Dennis here. Today is Wednesday, 1st of May, 2024. Never to be repeated. I hope you're well. If you're tuning in, hello, live. Feel free to leave any comments, suggestions, topics. Leave anything in the comments and we'll address them. And back with another episode of Independent Talk. Try to keep things through an independent perspective, assessing things and making sense of what's going on out there in the world, in Era, in Ireland right now. So I have a few videos lined up. Garden might come in later. And that's it. Same vibe. I hope you're well. Lots of stuff happening now on a daily basis, weekly basis. Not fit for purpose. System, government, failing its people, and we're witnessing it. And the great cover-up continues. The people must rise. So that's the plan. That's why I do these videos, to meet people who agree and can see through all the nonsense and all the other white noise, to agree that the state must fall and get to work doing that and building the people's movement. So that's why I do these videos. I do have connections with some people. I met some people from different parties and different alliances and different groups and stuff like that. But I'm not signed up to any other group. I'm not affiliated to any other group, although I know lots of people. And people are doing their thing to the best of their ability. And gone are the days of just tearing the back off people. That needs to stop. So we've got a big problem, as we've seen this week, with 2 gatherings called on the same day on May the 6th. So as a people, hopefully we can move on from this competition and we can get real and move forward with the cultural, societal and political revolution that we need. We're trying to save our culture, trying to save our people. We're trying to help. So that's where we're at. And I'll play video 1 now. I think I can play a couple of music videos as well. I've got a couple of clips from YouTube and downloaded them, so I'm going to try them tonight. I think I'm okay for copyright and all that stuff because they've already been uploaded to YouTube. So think of this as a kind of a little space, an open space. The idea is to create kind of a talk showy vibe. People can come in and comment what they like. People want to come up and talk, they can. But that's it. The purpose is to find people who are sick and tired of the nonsense and who want to formulate a people's movement. Simple as. Video 1. Don't see any comments there as of yet. Don't be shy, people. Don't be shy. We had 75 odd views of last week's stream, which is not much in the grand scheme of things, but it's not bad when you consider. But yeah, don't be shy in the comments. If you have any questions, I know people that watch these videos don't always agree with everything I'm saying. And I'm willing to be challenged on anything I'm saying as well. So don't be shy. Don't be shy. We can't always be right. But we can stay in the truth and we can be transparent to what we're trying to do. So don't be shy. Before we start, sending love out. Now, videos.
Everyone is living on edge right now, and we need to do something about it. We cannot continue ignoring that this is a small minority of far-right movement. It is an organized terrorist group of people who want to harm immigrants in this country, and we have to take action now. We can't keep on calling them a small, dangerous group of people, because it is an organized group of people who are radicalizing young people and encouraging them to go and harm others who are just living peacefully, who wants to live a peaceful life in this country.
That's the new mayor of Derry speaking about the domestic terrorists and how organised we are. I would beg to differ. I'd say we're not very organised. there are small splinter cells, different groups who are organised, but as a collective, as a people, as a tribe, we're not there yet. We'd rather focus on the differences than work on the similarities. But hopefully that changes in time. So again, don't be shy on the comments. If you have a question, pop them in there. If you have something that you'd like me to talk about, or let the people know at this moment, stick it in the comments and we'll address it. And that's it. We'll move through the videos. And as I said earlier on, Darren may come in at some stage to say hello. And the video goes out, and that's it. And the purpose of the video is to drop seeds and hopefully encourage some people from out there in the island to reach out to me, and we try and do something together without the nonsense.
Okay, this is where they brought us. At the moment is just tents, so just tents around. There's nothing much, just the presence of police personnel and stuff. So that's where we are now. So just tents everywhere.
The great plantation continues. I believe personally that's what it is. Yeah, and some people are finding it hard to understand why the government would do these things, or how these things happen. And it's all about money and organisations, agendas of organisations, and people falling in. The World Economic Forum being the big one in Europe. Yeah. So lots of people coming to the conclusion and starting to realise for themselves how bad things are, but we can't allow ourselves to keep fighting and fragmenting, especially in the online world. It's terrible. It's very sad to see the things being so bad, and women and children and men at threat. That's a fact. Lots of people homeless, Irish people struggling, taxed to the hill by a out of control state, and they need to fall. So we'll keep going. Don't be shy in the comments. I'll play the videos. That's it. Have someone in the room. What a beautiful day to be alive, and what's the downfall of a tarantula government? Tyrannical. How are you, Al? How are you, brother? I hope you're well. We'll see you on Monday, please God. Mark and Kevin, welcome. Project 2040. Lots of stuff for people to go off and look into and realise that these are not just conspiracy theories. These are factual attempts at flooding our nation into a rainbow nation. Should they say it themselves? They've already addressed the idea of changing the tricolour and changing the anthem. And this is not me saying that. This is out of the mouths of the former criminal Taoiseach for Adker and the probably future Taoiseach Mary Lou McDonald. She spoke about this herself. So it's very interesting. And it does seem to me that it's rippling out on lots of people. But unfortunately, we've said this before, most people don't react until it comes to the door. And then when it comes to that door, they open their eyes and they join the movement of people. But we need to speed things along as quickly as possible without continuing to fragment and allow divisive tactics ruin any chance of a movement. I believe we need it. I believe there is a movement there. Doesn't have to be a political movement, although that's a big part in any change that is to come. We have to infiltrate and take over the political system, tear it down, all the corruption, use all the evidence and all the knowledge we have from all the people all over the island fighting against this state. But for some reason, we don't fight together. and we need to change that. So that's the resonance, the frequency that I'm sending out, and a few people close to me are sick and tired of all the nonsense, sick and tired of the ego show, sick and tired of people getting stuck into their own agenda, and everybody else is wrong. So we think there is space for people, and they must realise at this stage that they need to speak. I seen there on the May the 6th, there was a gathering called for the Garden of Remembrance by East Wall, Malachy Steenson's crew. I was in a group with them. I am in a group with them on WhatsApp. And then I seen the other day that there's another one called for Newtown, Mount Kennedy. And I think that's bizarre. I really do. So I'm not in the Ireland Says No group the past few months, unfortunately. But it is what it is. But I was in a group with Malachy's crew, and I asked them what their plan was for Monday, and I hope they do something with the numbers. And I told them the claim, I suppose, why people, what people have been saying about Malachy, and why people are in the background organising other protests for the same time as Malachy and his crew. And I told them what I've heard and the claim, and I've asked the people who made the claim to bring some proof to the table. But most of these things can be sorted with people, patriots, real people who understand how bad times are and how important times are. That conversation can sort most of these things. I mean, if people want to have a knock, have a knock. But most things can be sorted when people realise where we're at and how many people suffer on a daily basis. Well, some are more interested in creating bigger personalities for themselves, or acquiring more power, or working on future elections, and that's all good. But we need to be here now. We need to be present here today, and not always reacting. But this message doesn't change for me. I've been talking like this for years. This is my vibe. Community spirit. People working together, seeing through their differences. And as I said, it has brought me into the ripples of lots of groups, but I have been dismissed from most of them, including Malachy's group the other night, when I was having a few comments into the group, asking them about things, about communication. Does anybody communicate? And then the admins stopped people from being able to talk in that group, so I couldn't follow up my conversation. All my conversations are open and honest and transparent. That's the way I like to do things. I have no agenda, just an independent man observing, watching, being in the mix, and relaying what I say truthfully through freedom of speech. So for years, I've watched lots of good people, the likes of Ben Gilroy and Gemma Doherty and Dolores Cahill and Joe Ducey and Stephen Manning and the People's Party and the National Party. And I wonder, when will they all park the nonsense at the door and get on with business? You can still do your thing all the other days of the month, but can we not meet once a month, an assembly of people? I think we should be doing that. Those who want to assemble, and we talk and grow and plan and try and save our culture and future generations from grave danger. See a few comments there. I'll play a video and come back to them. This was Dublin town in the last 24 hours, I believe, 48 hours.
He just says, very concerning to see what's happening in Hamburg. I'm worried it will happen over here. Let me remind you of what this is. This is a protest in Hamburg, the German city, openly calling for an Islamic caliphate, isn't it?
Yeah, an Islamic caliphate. Essentially the Islamic takeover of Germany. And I don't know if any arrests were made, but just the very fact that these people felt so emboldened to demand something that is the antithesis of Western liberal democracy on the streets of a Western liberal democracy is absolutely shocking. You might tell me it's unsurprising, but it is still shocking to see just out in the open there. That was supposed to be a protest about Islamophobia, and look what happens. It gets hijacked by extremist voices, and what does the German government do? What does the German government do? We have seen similar, of course, in the United Kingdom, perhaps not quite as brazen as this recently, although we did see in Luton a number of years ago, but we've seen calling for jihad on the streets of London.
Mate, drop the sword. Easy, easy. Where? Over there. Come this way. Come on. Oi. Oi. Come this way. Can you still see him? Yeah. Oi! He's going in people's gardens, man. Lock your doors! Lock your doors! Everyone lock your doors! He sounds like he's going out a side gate or something on the other side.
Well, there we are. Clearly, you could see there the suspect, first of all, brandishing that sword-like weapon, and then at least two police officers using tasers. And there you see more police officers from the armed police unit arriving, and he is clearly now in custody. Two tasers fired, and then armed police arriving. And then, according to the police, this 36-year-old suspect, having been arrested, as we've seen there at the scene, was taken to hospital and has not yet been interviewed, we're told, because he suffered injuries. Well, they're saying, the police are saying he suffered injuries when his van collided with a building, but he was subsequently seen brandishing that sword. So it may well be that the injuries have something to do with the tasering. Let's just have a look.
We've seen that somewhere before, haven't we? Closer to home. That poor little girl. You don't hear much about that little girl. I see your comment there. Maliki is no different than Griff Media, just stretching time out. If and when the sheep wake up, the controlled opposition deep entry plans are in place to bid for Zog. That's your opinion, and that's many people's opinion. But are we the sheep? Why haven't we got anything going ourselves? Why aren't we assembling? Why aren't we meeting? Why aren't we growing? Doing the things that we believe should be done. So it's just all well and good criticizing people, and I'm speaking to myself here. I've been guilty of it before. I am not without sin, but thou shalt not judge. If no one's causing you any harm, leave them be. But I think it's most important that you, me, we do our thing as well. Stop worrying about what other people are doing. We need to be creative and not always reactive. We always seem to be reacting to problems and not creating problems of our own for them. And that's what we need to do. We need a movement of people. And we need to grab people off the internet and grab them into the real world. And we will hopefully be having an assembly soon. We had 3 at two at Leinster House and 1 at the Mansion House, and it didn't go too great. Stand with area, but we be hoping to do something now again in the not too distant future. We'll let this weekend go off, the Easter Monday. Oh, sorry, the Bank Holiday Monday. We'll let that go off and let it happen, and hopefully bridges can be mended from this point on. Me as an individual and a couple of my mates, we'll keep assembling and we'll offer something for people to come to. Hopefully a space for people to come together and get away from all the nonsense and start growing. As I said, it kind of kicked the soul out of me when it happened at the time, because I've met so many people, thousands of people over the past few years who know what's going on. But when it came to get behind, I suppose, Stand With Air or the movement, most people backed away. And some people spread malicious words. And it's interesting to me why, but we cannot be stopped in our fight for our nation. So, yeah, the Stand With Air crew will be back soon. Hope to see some of you on Monday up in Dublin. Myself and a couple of other mates will be up there. Come over and say hello. And if you're interested in the vibe, give us your name and number and we'll hook up. But we need to start meeting and assembling. And I encourage everybody in every town who's watching this, if you're in Newtown, Mount Kennedy, or all of the other towns, get talking to your people and form that assembly in your local town. And then if you see this video, reach out to me and come along to one of our gatherings in the future. As I said, no finance, independent. Anybody who was at our previous ones knows we barely got a sound system together. But yeah, we haven't done anything in a while, so we'll continue to do stuff because I think it's important. It is important for me anyway, in this day and age, to speak out and try and make sense of all the madness. Lots of madness out there, so we need some common sense and some people to, first of all, understand the problem and then recognise that fragmented and civil war politics has carried on for decades in this country, and there hasn't been a people's movement, a pure people's movement in my lifetime. And I'd love to be part of something. I'd love to leave something good for when I'm gone. Stand with Air and come out and go to Newtown, Mount Kennedy on Monday if you want to go to Newtown, Mount Kennedy on Monday. Go to Dublin if you want to. Do what you feel you need to do. But we must do better, and that's a fact. So we'll see. As I said, reach out to me, send me your number. We're going to start building a network now. We are of people who want to be in a network and meeting face to face and trying to grow something that will ripple and hopefully encourage people to communicate. You know, we're not a political party. We're not selling you anything. We're just trying to get people to communicate in an open and honest and transparent way, because there have been enough underhanded dealings in this country to last another century. So lots of darkness and evil out there, folks. Spiritual stuff. So the good people, the light bearers, must shine their light. And that's it. Anybody else? We must show, in my opinion, a massive show of strength on the 6th, this coming bank holiday. Yeah, I believe so, Al. It's unfortunate that I said it to the Malachy's group the other day. Did anybody speak to anybody? Does anybody speak? Did anybody from each group speak to each other? And there is no real network. And that's what the Stand With Air idea was, to create a network. Wasn't really successful in terms of numbers at the time, but I think the message is simple, and lots of people are worried about infiltration. I don't think you can infiltrate the message of the state must fall. It's so simple. And if you agree, maybe come along to one of the future gatherings. If you're watching these videos, or you're in the circle, or you're on the ripple, or you're on the edge, maybe in the future, we can meet and talk and grow. For now, I just do me lives once a week, every week. This is me trying to reach out through the World Wide Web and find that movement. As I said, I've met lots of people, but haven't found enough to move forward. But then maybe I have, maybe we have, and we just got deflated by negative vibrations a couple of months back, and we need to be more proactive and positive. You'd wonder about these televised events. Surprised the suspect wasn't 33, although 36. Oh, look, you wouldn't trust anything you see. That's something you should know. If you don't trust what you don't see. I'm a man who tends to only believe what I see with my own two eyes and I experience for myself. The rest, I don't really know. That could be a made-up video, could be propaganda. So I take everything with a pinch of salt, but I try and keep it local and national and on my nation and my people and the corrupt system in charge, and bring it back to basics, because you don't know what's going on really, other than what you know in your local environment. And our people are getting pissed and shit on, let's be honest, for decades now. Right back to my own mother. First baby was taken from her out of the womb, and off the baby went, and that was only, as I said before, my ma's only 30 years older than me, so it's not that long ago. And it's the same state, so it's nothing new. I'll keep going through the videos. I play a bit of music here, folks. I want to try. It's the first time I think I can get something from YouTube and get it across, so play the odd tune, because this is for people to sit down and relax, including myself, and just if they want to, on a Wednesday at 7, tune in, connect, and as I said, try and grow something in the real world. For now, this is where I'm at. I have been reduced to this, but we keep going. Bit of music. Check this beautiful voice out.
Oh
Sorry about that. Didn't realise there was an outro. Yeah, so I just played that. I know some people are probably saying, what's he doing playing music? What's he doing? But as I said, I do these lives once a week on a Wednesday. It's just my way of speaking out publicly. Other than that, there ain't much happening on my side. I'm going to do the local independent thing where I am, but I want to do it independently. And there isn't a crew where I am. I don't think there's much of a pulse of patriotism or activism, or what you call people who are anti-state where I am. So it's an interesting one. But I do feel that I need to speak in this day and age. So that's why I do this. I see you were talking there about the UN Migration Pact, and I think you have to as well understand and accept that some of the people that are in the political parties, not all, but lots of people who are maybe in these new political parties or established political parties, not the main ones, but call them the nationalist ones or the slightly nationalist ones. I think we're educating them as well, and that's why I keep doing these videos. Some of these people are not in as deep. They're probably, as I said, it knocked on the door recently, but there's lots and lots for people to understand and learn. So I myself was in the Bunrock group when we were creating the Bunrock website. Have a look at that. I think it's www.bunrock1937.ie, something like that. But I'm sure you are aware of that now. But I was doing that for a while with the crew and trying to get awareness of the fact that the Constitution exists. And I went and I met a couple of heads from Ireland Force at the time. This was a few months ago. Myself and Darren and Emer went and met them. And what we were doing was basically informing them on Bunrock and making them aware of it. And they hadn't really got a clue, to be honest. And that's no knock on them, for we only came across it ourselves in the past couple of years, and we've been around the block. So just passing on the information to them. So keep that in mind as well, that there are some people who are not in, haven't been digging as long, and they're probably new to the information that's out there, or most of it. There's lots of it, so forgive them as well at times. They probably don't know, just like some of the Garda and some of the teachers and some of the doctors and some of the surgeons and some of the civil servants just don't know, just doing their job. And politics is a job to some people. I suppose it is, but it's they probably don't know. So all you can do is pass the information out. As I said, that's why I met Tommy and a couple of the others down there, just to pass the information, look them in the eyes and say, you now know about this moving forward. I know, I've passed it on. So I believe that's what it's about. It's about passing on the word, passing on the truth, passing on the light, the fire, whatever you want to call it, the energy, wisdom. Pass it on. It's not just for you. Knowledge is power. So I'll keep going. A couple of comments, let me see. Beautiful tune, very relaxing. Yeah, that's the song I came across recently. Roisin Chambers, the Bonnie Man. Beautiful, beautiful voice. Don't want to always be in a state of anger when I'm putting out my content, I do believe that was one thing that saddened me when we were doing the Stand With Area thing. A movement of people trying to, I suppose, find people who believe the state must fall. And we couldn't find anybody who played traditional piece. I know Al plays a bit of baritone, but I mean a singer or a harp player or anything like that. So if you are one of them people still watching this, give me a shout. Maybe you could perform at one of our future events or gatherings or assemblies or wherever it will be. But look, can't always stay online and doing live streams. Have to do something real, something that I can feel and see. Some kind of movement. So if you are a traditional player and you would like to perform maybe down the road, don't be shy. That was one thing that did sadden me, I have to say. Good man, Dennis, keeping it lit. God bless you. Thank you very much, Paul. Thank you very much. Have to keep it lit, brother. Have to keep it lit. I can't sit idly by and watch the craziness consume everybody and everything without shining some light onto it. Yeah. My dad said to me the other day, Dennis, people don't like it when you tell the truth. They don't like it. Generally, truth sayers are on the periphery, you know what I mean? Generally. People love shy talkers. People love people who plumaz them and make them feel great. I suppose I don't make some people feel great. That's not my intention. It is to challenge you and me and we to be better. But I do always try and, promote people, look after their mental health and look after your people and, enjoy nature and being present. It's a big thing if you can be present. I would promote that. So, yeah, I don't know where I went there. Yeah, but thanks for that, Paul. Thank you very much, man. Alan, no bothers, brother. Play another video in no particular order. I have got another piece of music in here, I believe. But I am aware as well that this kind of content is not going to have so many views because it can be, I suppose, construed as boring to some people. What's he talking about? The country burns. But yeah, it does. But yeah, culture, playing a bit of music, arts. You can pull on the heartstrings in other ways, I believe, and make people come to the conclusion that they are Irish. It's as simple as that. Are you Irish? Yes? No? Sha? Neil? Okay, if you're Irish, do you think the state must fall? Sha? Neil? If you do, come and amplify the message with us. But our international allies are welcome to stand with us as well. But we've got big problems with our government and it must fall in the state. We must get control of things. People's movement is needed. And lots of people talk a good game, say the right things, but they don't want to connect. They want to take the ball and run with it. It's okay to let someone else kick the ball with you sometimes. Have you a link and I will join you to vent my frustrations against the government? A link for what, Paul? Sorry. I was to stand with the group on Telegram. The idea behind that was to get people in just to be in the same, at least in the virtual space. It's hard. The communication skills are so bad and the conversational skills are so bad. And people's ease at being offended is so bad. And people's belief that they are right, they are always right, and everybody else is wrong and stupid. It's got to the stage where even having people in the virtual space is quite difficult. I believe it needs to come face to face. And there are people out there who are sick and tired of the nonsense and just want the people's movement to grow. And I'm one of them. So, yeah, we keep going.
Yeah, you should see all the tents around the site. Look at all the blood. Look at the forensics and all. Look, they're dead. Look, right, that's that side, 2 tents there with a load of blood outside. And then when you see when you go over this side. Hold on. Someone must have been just going around just slicing cunts up in the tents. Ah, but you see all the tents out there, all the blood outside them? Yeah, man, it's this side as well. Look, this side as well. Fucking someone must be just going around slicing cunts up in a tent.
Shame on you! Dirty Westbridge, shame on you! Dirty Westbridge, shame on you!
Let me say it, let the poet not go
Isn't that a beautiful sight? It's so simple. We don't need to complicate it. Imagine that with all the groups really putting all the bullshit aside, all your new political parties all putting the bullshit aside, everybody just putting the bullshit aside and just getting on with business. We need to make a people's movement to make the system fall. We can protest as much as we want, and it's great to see, and I've done plenty of them. But you do learn that without a movement behind it, they're just sporadic protests. If you're not building on it, that's a pity. I think that needs to change. I'm on my arse, so I can't be travelling around the country. Can't afford it to be going everywhere. I've done it for years. I want to build a people's movement of people who want to build a people's movement. No strings attached. I'm open to working with anybody. I've met lots of people. I'm willing to take a fresh start and wake up tomorrow and let bygones be bygones and work with anybody who wants to, for the betterment of our people, who sees what's going on, to work together. Yeah, I put myself out to the universe. I did email Clan Aaron last week, maybe, Justin Barrett's new thing. Watched the launch video. He spoke very well. I do think he's very good. I think he's got potential. I think lots of people have potential. They all have, if they stopped acting the maggot. You know, if we get people to work together. And some of us are going to have to encourage that, because some people won't do it naturally. They're going to need to be asked to please work together here for the betterment of the nation. Because splits and divides just grow bigger and bigger day after day. And I have no real time for divides at this stage. It breaks my heart to watch what's going on in my country. I don't need negative energy. I just want to be working with people who see it and want to do something about it. And lots of people have lots of different opinions, but you can't force your opinion on anybody. But are you of the opinion that the state must fall? It's that simple. If so, reach out to me. Come up to me on Monday. Give me your name, give me your number, and we'll try and start something. I did, as I said, reach out to Clan Aaron. I think it's got huge potential. The idea of it, it's pretty much very similar. But I couldn't give my sovereignty away to any one leader or any one man. That's the whole message, isn't it? We're all valid. We're all equals. We're all sovereign. There are no titles in area. So natural leaders do come to the forefront, and people, I suppose, are free to join Clan Aaron if that's what they want to do, and say, yeah, Justin can make all the decisions. No matter if there's 20 members or 50,000 members or 2 million members, he'll listen to us. He says he will. You know, he's a man of his word. He's going to listen to us, but he makes the decision. And if people are okay with that, that's cool. That's their freedom of choice. So I'm not here to put that down. I just think, for me personally, it's so close to being a real movement, but it's just that little. Yeah, it's not for me. But I love the idea. I think it's very powerful. The visuals. I think he's a very powerful man. I think he's a very anti-state man. I think the media and the system have tried to break him. I've met him once at the gathering at Leinster House when he spoke. The Ireland Says No gathering, and people weren't happy with that. I spoke to him after that, and he thanked me for allowing him to speak, and That's the only time I've ever met the man, and I do see his good sides. I try and focus on the good sides that people bring, and not the negative, because you'll end up in a negative space and think in a negative way, in a uselessness way, and there's no solution way. But if you try and stay in the positive and admire people for the good things they do, even though you might not agree with everything that they do, but they take the time and the effort, and they invest time and effort in their idea, and they do it. And we need more doers. I'm talking to myself as much as anybody that's watching this. There's a power in saying things out publicly and putting them out to the universe. The fact that you've said them, you put a little bit of pressure on yourself to not let yourself dip into a hole and disappear off the face of the earth. So, we keep going. But yeah, lovely idea. I did mail them. They haven't got back to me yet, Clan Aird, and I would like to go to the next meeting or the next assembly and just maybe talk a little more and maybe speak to Justin, have a chat. I did message him on YouTube there a couple of months back for a live chat. If anybody knows Justin Barrett, ask him to come on for a conversation, or let me know when his next meeting is. I'd like to go along and say hello and see what the crack is. It's got huge potential, and it's sad to see the whole National Party, Clan Air and stuff, but it's a symbol of the Irish patriotism field, I suppose, or the activism field. Just look at the National Party as a synopsis, there's a word, or a snapshot of the scene, or the IRB. There's two of them. There's an Independence Alliance. There's a Irish People. There's Ireland First. There's a National Party, and they're all pretty much doing the same thing. Imagine the power of people's minds could come together. So I did feel the past few days that some people are sick of divisiveness. I'm one of them. So if it's not real, forget about it. But protests are cool, but we need to be networking, and we need the natural people in those towns, in your assemblies when they happen. Naturally, a few people will come to the forefront. Naturally, they just will. Reach out to the other towns and start connecting more and more and more. That's all we can do, folks. We are under threat. There was an assault of an Irish woman. I can't see it with that screen, forgive me. There was an assault of an Irish woman on the weekend on the south side, one of the trafficking centres. 5 men attempted to grab an Irish girl at 1 a.m. when she was looking for a taxi. Yeah, there was a woman stabbed in, Darren was telling me today, down in Kilkenny, in one of the hospitals, I believe. She was stabbed by some dude with scissors. Sorry, sometimes I stutter. Yeah, some dude stabbed a woman in Kilkenny in the hospital. Definitely. Clan Gael has started up in the USA again. Well, this is very important, I believe, Paul, in the future. Not only must we engage our own brains and realise who we are, some of us need to work together. Some of us need to do the opposite of what the others are doing and encourage more communication. So that's how we advance things. We talk, we debate, we argue, we learn, we move forward. And if we can, I believe we can engage the diaspora. I just believe our message hasn't been simple enough or inspirational enough, and people don't trust politicians. And I think the people are waiting for a group or a movement of people to happen that they can get behind. But we just haven't broke it down easily enough for them, or for ourselves, suppose. So let's break it down. Should the state fall? Yes or no? Bus loads from Mount Street tents are gone into Newtown, Mount Kennedy today. So even though the whole town came out and the drone footage, the plantation of soldiers went ahead, it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop with protests. It's not going to stop with protests. It hasn't stopped. It won't stop. It's not going to. The full force of the state is behind this. The state must fall. It's a huge, huge, huge monster of a machine, and it needs to fall. Protests, as I said, they're great for raising attention, but most people only become aware when it knocks on the door. And some of us, it knocked on our doors a long time ago, and we need to come together and encourage those people who are hearing the knocks now to come together with us and take this government down, this state down. It's going to be a big, big job. But first, we have to accept the job. We have to recognize the job, and then we can get to work. Yeah, I hope I'm not being too harsh on anybody here. Forgive me if I am. At times, I just speak. I even have the live viewers blocked here because it puts me off. If anybody wants to come on for a chat, you're more than welcome. Yeah.
Today in the Dáil, Simon Harris, the man who claims to be the leader of this country when he's just in fact a Taoiseach and leads nobody, said that we can't allow shanty towns to develop in this country and that he will be clearing Mount Street imminently. Firstly, Simon Harris had no problem with Irish Indigenous people living in shanty towns for the past 10 or 12 years. He's done nothing about it, having been in government for the past 13 years. We believe that his clearing of Mount Street is imminent and it will come within the next 24 hours. We believe that a major operation is being put in place with the connivance and backing of the state media, with the backing and the assistance of Dublin City Council, the Riot Squad, and with many members of An Garda Síochána. We believe that the shanty town will be cleared and that those people in those tents will be now moved to either Tala or Newtown Mount Kennedy. We believe it will be Newtown Mount Kennedy. We believe they have scores of buses lined up to take these people. We further understand that once that is cleared, they will put in concrete bollards to ensure that Mount Street doesn't happen again in Mount Street. It'll probably happen in Talbot Street or somewhere else on the north side. This is a very grave time for our country. Our nation and everything we stand for and believe in is truly at stake in the next very short period of time. It's vital that all of the people who believe in this country, all of the people who believe in what we stand for, all of the people who want to have a better life for their children and their grandchildren should come with us, the Garden of Remembrance, on Monday, the 6th of May, to show this government, just as we've done in the referendums recently, and just as we will show them in the local and European elections on the 7th of June, it is vital that nationalists are elected to councils right across this country, and it's vital that we have representation in Europe.
Yeah, I know you don't like Maliki, I get that, but I have to respect the man for what he's doing right there. I can understand clearly what he's saying. I agree with everything he's saying there. I don't need to like the dude, but I don't know, I've never spoke to the man. But gave up his time and his effort today to do that. He's doing what he's doing. Let him do what he's doing. Let him do what he's doing. If you have any proof to the contrary, by all means expose those people who people believe are not who they say they are. They do need to be exposed in time, and they will. But yeah, I can agree with what he's saying in the video there. I'm pretty much saying the exact same thing. So the reason I'll be going to Dublin on Monday is because I want to, and I was at the last one, and it was a bit flat. It was more of a political announcement of elections, and the Freedom Party were there, and James Reynolds' National Party were there, and I was watching it, and people did start to disseminate very, very quickly once they realised it was a political kind of a thing. And whilst I was in the group with Maliki and his crew the other day, before the admin put it, only admins can post, I did ask them what's the intentions or what's the plans for Monday. Have we got any intentions? Have we got somewhere to go? Are we going to do something? And what's the plan? And I was told revolution, and I said, good, let's do something with the numbers. I think it's important. if you get a big gathering to do something, to make a statement, to go somewhere, to read out something, to call for someone's head, to try and build a campaign that people can get behind. So I was just wondering what the plan was, because I was worried that the last time the energy got sucked out of it very quickly, and the people need to feel the vibration of a large gathering of people in unison, amplified together. And that's the message. And that's why I'm going to Dublin. I know some people are going to Newtown, Mount Kennedy, and they're not opposition, they're not competition. That's their free will to do so. But hopefully down the road, more and more of us can tolerate each other and communicate in a manner benefiting the nation, and in a manner understanding and respecting the serious situation our people and their nation and their culture and our future generations are. And let's stop with the personality clashes and just get on with it. You're free to do your own thing as well, but come on, let's try and grow. Paul, I seen your comment there about coming into the live chat this evening. I'll leave that for tonight, brother. If you want to come on next week, you're more than welcome. It's just that I don't know what you're going to talk about, who you are. I'm on a bit of a flow here. I don't like to be put off or sabotaged on the night, you know yourself. So come on next week if you want. Send me a message there. And if you want to come on, if you want to discuss something, what you want to talk about, you're more than welcome. But I'll just keep going for now, right? Maliki is stretching out time till the HB is in, then it's too late. Yep, he gave a speech and see it in 2 months. Yeah, that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think that's enough, and I still don't, but they're doing something. And those of us who think they're not doing enough, what are we doing? Are we doing enough? So instead of always externalizing, maybe we should do more internalizing. You know what I mean? I'm ready. I'm ripe. I'm baffled that nobody has reached out to me. Baffled. I'm fucking years doing this stuff, looking for a movement. I've been, on the periphery of a few, but I like to stay independent, and I like to keep it about the people and nothing else other than serving the people and returning power to the people. That has to be the ultimate goal. So, yeah, I am amazed I'm not part of a crew of people who meet and assemble and work and talk and get in touch and then network with people. And maybe that's something I should be doing more of myself. Sometimes you feel, is it even possible? But patience is a virtue. Yeah, and I do agree with you, stretching out time, and that's what happens with elections and stuff like that. People's attention gets sucked off to that, and that's understandable as well, because they want to get in there and do what they can in their world. That's what they need to do. And as I said to you, some people probably don't know, aren't in as deep the ramifications of these things and how deep the system is in already. If you were a UFC fighter now, we would be in the L submission chokehold, and we need to realize that and react and get out of it, or we're going to be taken out as a people, as a tribe of people, as a nation. We need to find the voice of the nation. And there's many different voices in there and different opinions. But we need to understand and realize that we're all connected and we are a nation and we respect each other as much as possible. But can we accept and realize that we are a nation, and a nation is all the people? And if there are people amongst our nation who are disgusted by this state, reach out, help us amplify this, share the video, do your own video, do something locally independent, start something in your town, drop me an email. That's the purpose of these videos. Have you heard of anything good happening? I seen a lovely thing on TikTok there last week. It was a bunch of people who had met on the Hill of Tara, and they had all the signatories of the proclamation, and they let off red flares. It was lovely. But I would have loved to be in there, but I didn't know what was happening. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you don't know. So many of us are not connected, but we're very similar. The phones and the social media has a lot to do with that. People aren't able to communicate as well, or there's a little edge to people when they're on social media. You know, there's a little edge to the way. I don't know. You know what I'm talking about. There you are, Paul. Okay, no bother, brother. Whenever you want, we're both on the same page. Good, yeah. Yeah, no hassles. No hassles. Just leaving space. Darren might come in for a chat, so if I chat to you and Darren comes in, I'll be here till midnight. And I want to be finished by 9, max 7 to 9, you know.
Close to a century of existence, the Federal Reserve has done just the opposite. Since they took charge, we've been robbed through inflation, and the purchasing power of the dollar has declined more than 96%. And the wealth gap makes it clear most of the money is going to a very few. Only 16 years after the Federal Reserve was in power, America experienced the Great Depression. My research revealed that before the big crash in 1929, the elite bankers pulled their money out of the stock market. After the crash, they used that money to buy up cheap stocks and smaller failing banks for pennies on the dollar. Among the bankers who consolidated their wealth this way were the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Morgans. A similar scenario played out in the 2008 financial collapse, with the same bankers benefiting. In the years leading up to the collapse, the biggest banks, including Bank of America, Citigroup, and Chase, controlled by the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and Morgans, were bundling and trading bad loans that they knew would eventually fail. It's like putting rotten oranges in a box and selling them as grade AAA. The bundlers of the debt knew it was only a matter of time before someone would open that box and see that the content was worthless, since they were the ones who packed the boxes in the first place. When the rotten oranges, what we hear about as unsound loans, derivatives, and credit default swaps, were finally discovered, everyone was impacted. People lost their homes, their jobs, their businesses, and their retirements. Meanwhile, the biggest banks who created the problem in the first place were the ones who got bailed out. Why's that? Why would the Federal Reserve give trillions to the banks, even though the majority of Americans were against bailing them out? And why not help those most in need rather than the perpetrators of the financial collapse? My research led me to believe that the same people who created the Federal Reserve, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, and the Morgans, still control it, and they use this scheme to bail themselves out at our expense.
Many of the banks created are still the most powerful lobby on Capitol Hill, and they, frankly, own the place.
I'm convinced that the near collapse of the economy in 2008 resulted from an orchestrated pump and dump scheme designed and executed by the big bankers to consolidate wealth and power.
Money, greed, power has corrupted generations of Irish politicians, and hopefully it doesn't pollute the minds and souls and beings of future Irish politicians. And we must keep an eye on them, you know, as well. That's one thing we did say when we were at Leinster House with the Stanway area. It's not just to only observe the old and the current, but it's also to observe and pass on information and standards to the new politicians. Because we have been, it's like you're a dangerous man if you approach a politician these days. You can feel it. I was down at a town hall meeting again. Not a town hall meeting, a community centre meeting the other day. The local Fine Gael chap, Kevin Duffy, local councillor, was launching his county councillor campaign for this year's local elections. He is already the councillor, and he's Fine Gael, and he was launching his campaign the other night in Monasterevin Community Centre, and he had Martin Hayden with him and another girl going MEP. I think it was 4 of them, and there was about 30, 40 people there max. That's the government, the full force of the government. Remember I was saying earlier about I don't feel there's any pulse of activism or patriotism or rebellionism. We're in Monasterevin, like, you know, where Father Prendergast was hung in 1798 from a tree on Main Street. There's a lovely cross there to remember the people of 1798. So yeah, I wonder, but I did check out the Fine Gael candidate, Kevin. He seems a pleasant enough man, but he's Fine Gael. We need to take the power away from that party. So I was speaking to a couple of locals and they were talking about him. He said he's a nice man, and I said, yeah, but he's Fine Gael though, and they know. But yeah, about 40 people. So we'll see. There's so much stuff to process, isn't there? What's this one? Break your heart, that stuff, wouldn't it? I used to walk by there when I was working for the HSA up until a few years ago, up until the Wuhan flu. It's just around the corner from there. It's one of the things near the end of my time with the HSA and the Wuhan flu, when it was all over the media. Was breaking my heart was the amount of homeless people I'd meet or see every day on me walk from Euston to Pearse Street, where I used to work. That was getting to me in the end. Lots of Irish people. That's what I did. I was a general assistant in a drug treatment centre. So I was around lots of homeless people and lots of people who would have been raised and cared, and lots of people who have trauma, and lots of people who end up homeless with issues. Irish people generally. So done that for 22 years. So seen it with my own eyes, and it was one of the saddening things, and it was one of the reasons why I was kind of happy to get out of Dublin, you know, city centre. It's very sad for me. Crown HQ is a dark place.
Who are the Gardaí? Pepper spraying, charging and beating concerned community members in Newtown Mount Kennedy. I hear people saying, why would they do it? They're family members, neighbours, members of the community themselves. So I have a question. Are they? Policing, Security and Community Safety Act 2024. It was passed in February. Secondment from Police Service of Northern Ireland to certain ranks of An Garda Síochána. Subject to Section 46, the Garda Commissioner may, at the request of the Chief Constable, appoint a member of the Police Service of Northern Ireland as a member of An Garda Síochána of a rank not above that of Superintendent for a period not exceeding 3 years, or subject to the approval of the Board, appoint such a member of the Police Service of Northern Ireland as a member of An Garda Síochána of a rank of Assistant Garda Commissioner or Chief Superintendent for such period. A person appointed under the section shall during such appointment, in accordance with Section 56, be under the direction and control of An Garda Commissioner, have the powers, immunities, privileges and duties of a member of An Garda Síochána of the rank to which he or she was appointed. Now I'm hoping this isn't the case, but this question needs to be asked and answered. McEntee, Government, Commissioner Harris, are members of the PSNI acting as an Garda Síochána and being paid by the Crown, being used to beat and attack concerned members of communities, Irish citizens, and to force against the will of the people the destruction of our beautiful country and the new plantation of Ireland? And if it's not the case now, will they be used in the future? Maybe some freedom of information requests will help. Internet, do your thing. All 291 pages of the Police and Security and Community Safety Act 2020.
All you Irish cunts, fuck all you trying to act nice, but you ain't fucking shit. You Irish piece of fucking shit. This is me going out to y'all, right? Ireland's gonna be dead. Ireland, you're all going down. Especially here in Killarney, because I'm gonna drop a bomb in that Killarney station. I'm gonna fucking wheel in there with a bomb on me. You think I'm joking, right? You think I'm joking? You think I don't have terrorist friends around here? Especially, you know what's the funny thing? A guy from fucking Bangladesh is a manager in that fucking hotel, and he kicked me out trying to be racist to me, and the Irish people wouldn't believe me, and they know me for 21 years.
Everyone is living on edge right now, and we need to do something about it. We cannot continue ignoring that this is a small minority of far-right movie. It is an organized terrorist group of people who want to harm immigrants in this country, and we have to take action now. We can't keep on calling them a small, dangerous group of people, because it is an organized group of people who are radicalizing young people and encouraging them to go and harm others who are just living peacefully, who wants to live a peaceful life in this country.
The mayor of Derry. I was listening to an interview yesterday with Rick Moon, is it, on TNT Radio and Mouse, and they were discussing this issue on the SDLP and how a couple of the people of the SDLP have now left the party because the woman was pushed into the job with no competition. People didn't have a say on it, apparently. So, come on, Irish people, please, for the love of God, please.
Here we are, the Garda blockade. Look at the amount of people turned out today. Small village, rural Ireland.
Everyone, stay on your hands and knees. Say your prayers.
Fuck off.
I'm not messing either. Everyone, get down on your hands and knees.
Keep going. You want to get a cup of tea? I'll be back in a minute. I'm going to play a song. Mr. Noel McConnell.
Our revenge will be the laughter of our children. We painted Bobby's words upon the wall. But if Dublin and the Shanners get their way soon, there won't be any Irish weans at all. For the traitors at the top support abortion. The sellouts, they failed us yet again. When it comes to killing unborn Irish children, who needs a famine when you've got Sinn Féin? You say a man can turn into a woman. To the wisdom of tradition you are deaf. You brainwash weans and lock away dissenters. Your toxic jabs, they still bring sudden death. Abortion, rainbow flags and immigration. The guards behaving like the black and tans. But you never will replace the Irish nation. So take a tip and leave us while you can. Every town bears witness to the new plantation. Our children will be strangers in this land. Our taxes pay for our own dispossession, to put this country back in foreign hands. Ireland for the Irish was the watchword of fighting heroes now long gone and dead. Do you think they died on battlefield and scaffold to see a burqa on our Kathleen's head? Abortion, rainbow flags and immigration, the guards behaving like the black and tans. But you never will replace the Irish nation, so take a tip and leave us while you can. You've taken foreign gold and foreign orders, from Brussels, aye, and even London too. You've sold us out to greedy corporations. You've robbed the many to enrich the few. Like all the touts and traitors gone before you, you're sure to face your day of judgment yet. Enjoy your 30 pieces, Jerry Judas. We never will forgive you nor forget. Abortion, rainbow flags and immigration, the guards behaving like the black and tans. But you never will replace the Irish nation, so take a tip and leave us while you can. But you never will replace the Irish nation, so take a tip and leave us while you can.
Good man, Noel. Good man. Just shows you the power of a song. Sometimes they are better than words or monologues. You can get a message across in the arts, and that's what they're for. So, no Bruce Springsteen, don't get me wrong. But yeah, a good lad doing good work. Well, I wouldn't say a good lad, I don't know the lad. But a good Irish man to me, sending out a good message. And I'm going to practice what I preach here. I don't know the man. So blank slate, good stuff. Thou shalt not judge. Cause no harm, injury or loss. And other than that, you're good with me. Keep going. But yeah, if anybody knows Noel McConnell, reach out to him and ask him would he like to come on for a chat, or pass his details on to me, please. Ask him first. Same to anybody who has my details. Don't be giving my details to anybody. My phone number, unless you ask myself, can I give the number, Dennis? We need more of this.
Los que estamos aquí reunidos son parte del ejecutivo, del órgano ejecutivo, que es el del cual yo estoy encargado, a excepción de una persona. Es el fiscal general que está aquí. Él no es del ejecutivo. Y está acá por una razón bien sencilla. Y es porque le quiero pedir en público de que investiguemos a todos los que están acá. Para atrás y para adelante. Yo me imagino que pues no hay ningún problema, ¿no? Hay una persona que me dijo una vez, mire, ¿y tú no le temes a la muerte? Yo le dije, no, pues claro, nadie se quiere morir. Yo no me quiero morir, pero yo sé que me voy a morir algún día, como todos. Si hay algo que no se puede escapar es de la muerte. Todos los que estamos aquí en 100 años, pues, no va a haber nadie vivo. Nadie. Ninguno de los que estamos aquí, lo más probable es que nadie sabe cómo se llama el papá del abuelo de uno. Pero hay algo que yo sí le tengo miedo, y es a dejar un mal legado. Y hay presidentes, unos presos, otros fugitivos, pero la mayoría son recordados como ladrones. Yo no quiero ser recordado como el ladrón. Entonces yo no robo, porque no quiero ser recordado como el ladrón o el corrupto. Pero hubo un presidente, el presidente Duarte, que la gente decía en ese entonces, el presidente no es ladrón, pero se rodeó de ladrones. Y en algún momento representó una esperanza para el pueblo salvadoreño. Pero si acaso es verdad que él no robó, qué tonto fue. Porque él era la esperanza del pueblo, no tocó un centavo y manchó su legado por rodearse de ladrones. Entonces a mí no me va a pasar eso. Yo no voy a ser el presidente que no robó, pero se rodeó de ladrones. Pero que me recuerden como el presidente que no robó y que no dejó que nadie robara. Y al que robó lo metió a la cárcel. Ya hay un par que ya están en la cárcel.
Fuck you! Keep walking!
Oh, the one comes around that corner. Oh, she's knocked out.
I believe eventually we're going to have a people's guardians of the peace eventually. And I have seen seeds and little things happening in different places of people in towns coming together to do neighborhood watch or whatever you want to call it. But you can see an incident like that. People have minutes to react most times, or to do as they please, as you've seen with the school in Dublin. There's a serious lack of control of the streets. There's lots of messing going on, lots of violent stuff going on, and the streets are becoming less and less safe. That's a fact. So we need to try and fix these things. First thing is getting control. Without that, we're just observers to the whole show.
Yeah, you can arrive with a pepper spray. Go to the fucking villagers. Yeah. There's the villagers. Oh, there's the villagers. Local villagers. Local villagers. He's protecting their own. Big van full of guards. More puppets. More puppets. Yeah. What are you going to do? Put this out to a fire? One of us will. Right. Now we're going to let you fucking murderers and raiders and murderers and fucking racists. Hard them
Tell the women to come up front. Women up the front. Come
Yeah, united we stand, divided we fall. We must practice what we preach, not just have hollow words, you know. It's true. It's true. At this stage, I think Stevie Wonder could see that. So yeah, I'm here to promote and to help and to encourage and to offer advice, and I'm here. Even to those people who may think I'm not at the end of a phone, I'm always at the end of a phone. I don't have that big an issue with anybody that I can't speak to anybody, really. Yeah, so if you want to talk, the door is always open. We must lead by example.
Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. Oh, Sally, my dear, it's you I'd be kissing. She smiled and replied, you don't know what you're missing. Oh, Sally, my dear, I wish I could wed you. Oh, Sally, my dear, I wish I could bed you. She smiled and replied, then you'd say I'd misled you. If all you young men were heirs on the mountain, if all you young men were heirs on the mountain, how many young girls would take guns and go hunting? If the young men could sing like blackbirds and thrushes, if the young men could sing like blackbirds and thrushes, how many young girls would go beating the bushes? If all you young men were fish in the water, if all you young men were fish in the water, how many young girls would undress and dive after? But the young men are given to frisking and fooling. But the young men are given to frisking and fooling. So I leave them alone and attend to my schooling.
Beautiful, what? Beautiful Irish Colleen. Beautiful voice. Yeah, so again, some people might say, what's he doing playing music? What I'm trying to do is 7 o'clock on a Wednesday, I'll turn up, play a few videos, open the portal. Yeah, and hopefully a bit more cultural stuff as well. You know what I mean? Not always negative. So that's the vibe here. 7 o'clock on a Wednesday. Yeah, I'll see you in the real world. See some of you Monday. Come over, say hello. If you're liking the vibe, you want to reach out. I shared the Telegram group there. And that's it. I'm in a couple of groups. I'm in the group with the Ballymun Together group, and I'm in the Ireland, Awakened Ireland, and I'm keeping my finger on the pulse. And trying to digest the information as best I can. And that's it. I think of another song, maybe. And yeah, I've seen this girl singing the other day. She's a beautiful singer, so check it out. And again, it's a kind of a slot for a kind of a chat show, music clips, political talk. Yeah, and just staying in touch with people who enjoy this content. It's slightly different from other content, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I think you know its intention by now. Check this lady out.
I fell in love with this song many moons ago when it was played on a Home and Away episode of Brax and what was your one's name? Ricky. And you can imagine my emotion and delight when I was watching my blind audition on The Voice UK and they had put this song over it. Excuse me for a while I'm wide-eyed and I'm so damn caught in the middle. I excused you for a while I'm wide-eyed and I'm so damn caught in the middle. And a line roars, would you not listen? If a child cries, would you not give them? You might seem so strong, you might speak so long, I've never been so wrong. You might seem so strong, you might speak so long, I've never been so wrong. Excuse me for a while I'm wide-eyed and I'm so damn caught in the middle.
Yeah, reprogramming a few spooks, reprogramming ourselves as well. You know, we're all living and we're all learning, and nobody's right all the time. But reprogramming ourselves, and if we can, you know, take all the information and realize we're Irish men and women, that's a start. And then the second one is to stay. Do we think it should fall as Irish men and women? Are we willing to send that message out as a way of life and expand and grow and create a people's revolutionary movement? So yeah, that's the dream. It's quite small, but look, it's a dream nonetheless. Share and subscribe. Great stream. Nice one, brother. Share or subscribe. Don't know how to do that, Al. I don't know how to do it. What's the name of that singer? I don't know, man. I just seen her the other day and she blew my socks off, so I'll have a quick look back on the video and I'll see if I can get her name. If you give me 1 second. 1 second, I think her name was on it. 1 second. she gone? There she is.
I fell in love with this song many moons ago when it was played on a Home and Away episode of Brax and what was your one's name?
Niamh Nolan. Niamh Nolan. Beautiful Irish Colleen. Beautiful voice. Have I anything else? Let me see. I think that's everything, folks. I have a video there, but I didn't realise it was 9 minutes long. So, yeah, you might not have seen it. I'll play it and I'll come back in about 8 minutes or so and check, and that's it. Maybe you haven't seen it. It's good to hear people talk.
Eurostat, the European Statistics Agency, have just released figures showing that in 2022, Ireland accepted 250,000 people into the country to live. That's 250,000 people in 1 year. We have a population of 5.2 million at the moment, but 1.1 to 1.2 of them are made up of people like yourself who weren't born in the country but are living here. So that's about 22% of the people at the moment. So we're headed for almost 1 in 4 people living in Ireland at the moment weren't born here. So there are some predictions that over the next several decades, Irish people will become a minority in their own country. So just given those statistics, what do you think about our immigration situation at the moment?
To be fair, in a sense, it's a bit horrific, really. I mean, Ireland does need to look after the Irish first, especially when, like you said, you're at risk of becoming a minority in your own country. It's a bit of a shock, to be honest.
Just what are your thoughts about immigration in Ireland?
I think it's not controlled. I feel like Ireland has some kind of pressure from European Union. They have some kind of, they have to follow what European Union decides, and they are bounded by that, and they have to let a lot of people come in. Given the size and the infrastructure and facilities in Ireland, I think there should be controlled immigration. Otherwise, it will increase the cost of everything. We are aware of the housing crisis and everything, so I think there should be a controlled immigration.
Well, I think it's a huge issue in Ireland because especially if you look at the UK, right, you look back in the 1950s, they had a similar issue where they imported loads of foreign nationals, many of which don't have the values of the native people, and they don't align with them. These are two separate groups. So you look at natives in the UK, I'm just using this as an example for comparison, they were all like Christians, white Christians, like Protestants, right, and then they're bringing in a lot of people from third world countries, say they're of maybe Muslim religion predominantly, and we're seeing a lot of that coming in here, right. If you see what's happened in the UK, where in many towns, you look at Birmingham, Rotherham, places like that, where the natives have become a minority and they actually feel in danger leaving their houses or expressing views about their country or their safety. I think the same thing is only going to happen here, and I think Irish people are definitely in the right to feel worried about what's happening here, especially if you look in the UK. I think they're trying to push for an Islamic party over there now. I don't think there'll be many people in Ireland, especially rural Ireland, where you look at small villages, will be happy with that level of immigration or similar things happening here, because I don't think Irish values will be placed at the forefront. It would become the values of the people who are now in the majority, so I think it is a huge concern.
Yeah. Almost 1 in 4 people living in the country at the moment.
I'm not happy about it at all, because I'm a New Ross man all my life, an Irish man all my life, and I'm down in Osmond House, a homeless shelter, because I can't find a place. I'm down on the council list for me and my 4 children, and I can't find a place to live, even with HAP. And with help from councillors, so-called councillors, and nothing's going on. But yet again, I'm finding out that New Ross is being absolutely jam-packed with them, full of them. Sick of hearing about this shit, sick of hearing about this, sorry for cursing, don't mean to be talking bad language, but it's driving me wrong, like.
Well, I was listening to the news, this was Thursday, in fact, and they were saying that the majority of the refugees or people seeking asylum in Ireland, the numbers have almost, in the first 3 months of the year, have preceded what they anticipated for a year. And the majority of the people who have come into the country are from 2 main countries, Nigeria and Pakistan. Now, to the best of my knowledge, there's no conflict in either country.
It only becomes a bad thing if people are coming for nefarious reasons. I think the vast majority of people coming to Ireland aren't. So therefore it's neither a good nor a bad thing, it's just a thing. It's just a thing that happens.
And then, well, I get your point, but just about the point of Irish people becoming a minority within Ireland, do you think would that not cause you concern or concern for the future of Irish children?
It doesn't cause me a concern, because if you're born in Ireland, you're an Irish person. So if those people come here and settle here and live here and they have children here, those children are Irish.
Okay.
So
if
we're talking about white Catholic Irish people becoming a minority, that's a different thing. Because now you're talking about people coming here based on their skin colour or their religion. If we start deciding that people can't move based on their skin colour or religion, then what are we doing? That's not a good thing.
Just to make a point, just what you're saying about the Irish people. If I was born in Japan to Irish parents, am I Japanese?
You would qualify for a Japanese passport, yeah.
Am I Japanese though?
Yes, by birth.
But would I consider myself Japanese?
That would be entirely up to you. If you mean, would you look like the other Japanese people? No, you wouldn't. But you wouldn't be any less Japanese if that's the culture you grew up in and the culture you decided to take on. However, having two Irish parents would probably mean that your upbringing would be swayed towards your Irish side. But you would certainly pick up Japanese traits, because if you're going to live in Japan. But yes, you would qualify for a Japanese passport, and you would by birth be Japanese.
So what are your thoughts about this level of immigration?
I don't mind, actually. I welcome it, to be honest. I don't think Irish people are going to become a minority. I think that's a lie that's spread by the far right to try and to back their racist agenda.
How do you see the future of Ireland in 10 years or 20 years if it continues, immigration continues as it is?
Well, we all see what's happening in France, Sweden, Germany. We are very much aware what's happening over there. I just want, I'm living over here. If the conditions are not good, I have to find some better place to live. I just want safety, security and good living conditions. So if the path at which the immigrants are coming into Ireland, if it's not controlled, if the people are not being vetted, and if along with that simultaneously if the infrastructure doesn't increase, then probably I will have to leave Ireland as well.
Well, I think certainly we will see an increase in crime, because a lot of the people coming over here, as we've seen, a lot of the stats, I think it was 87-88% maybe now, I could be wrong, but I think I'd seen somewhere like that they were coming over here with no documents. If you're coming over here with no documents, it would show to me there's something that you're trying to hide. And why are we then catering for these people in our country? I mean, Irish homelessness is at the highest level it's ever been, and yet we're not able to provide homes for these people, but the government seem to find plenty of money for these people coming over with no passports, many of which are military age single males. So I'd be wondering, what conflict are they running from, especially if they're coming from the likes of Central or Northern Africa, where there is no conflict going on at the moment. So that would worry me. So if people are coming from these places here purely as economic migrants, and a lot of which aren't working and are not trying to find work, I can only see a huge strain placed on the state in terms of Irish taxpayers having to pay more tax to provide for these people, but also an increase in crime, because God will make or the devil makes work for idle hands. If they're over here not working, I don't see them doing any good. So that would be my own opinion on the issue.
So would you say that we're definitely taking in too many people into the country?
We've taken in too many a year ago. I'm all about people, helping people coming in from other countries to fleeing war. But when you see busloads of men coming in on their own, men travelling with women and children are fleeing war. Men travelling on their own are coming to war.
I think there's going to be a backlash where people are just getting sick and tired of what's going on in this country, and they're voiceless. And whether it's Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael, the Greens, God help us, Labour and even Sinn Féin now are getting it in the neck from the electorate, sick and tired of what's going on.
And import is a horrible word to say, actually, as well. We're not importing people. You import goods into a shop. You don't import people.
Yeah. Well, you can import people, yeah. I mean, no, you can deport, you can import. Yeah, we do use that language. It's not. This is not bad language at all. It's just common English usage terms.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. But I don't get what your point is. That we're taking in all these criminals. We're not necessarily taking in criminals. You could take in 100,000 people. Some of them are going to be criminals, no matter what. And there could be 100,000 Irish people go to Australia, and some of them are going to be criminals, and some of them are going to give Irish people a bad name.
Yeah.
That's just how it works.
Yeah, but Australia has an immigration system where if you
and maybe we should follow their immigration system.
Well, that's exactly what I'm arguing for.
Yeah.
We should have maybe vet people before they come in, make sure that they're going to be responsible and then contribute to society, and then we can let those in, and the people who don't, we keep them out. But we're not doing that at the moment. We're letting in everybody, and that is the major problem.
Yeah.
It's not racist.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying it's racist. It's not racist.
Not far right either. Just common sense.
Yeah.
Mad stuff, isn't it? Given some of the foreign nationals see it better than some of the Irish nationals. Anyway, that's me. Dublin town. Dublin girl. Anyways, be good. Chat soon. See some of you Monday. Next Wednesday, 7. No more than 2 hours. So be good. I know the last video was long, but take it in. Be good.